got, yeah, any industrial park. But
Welcome, everyone, to Mastermind Seminars Live. We would like to welcome those who are in our location here today, as well as all those who are participating via video streaming at our satellite locations all around the world. We'll be introducing our event today and then turning it over to the very capable hands of some amazing presenters who have graciously given of their time and their amazing talents to share their insights into things which will change our lives as well as our businesses. The main question we want you to ask yourself is, why am I here? Is that a valid question to ask? Yeah. Why am I here? Maybe it's making money. Maybe it's saving more time. Maybe it's addressing my biggest challenge. Maybe it's working on my life vision. Whatever it is, we are here to help you do it. And the way it's going to happen is that you're going to get excited and you'll have the great temptation to do absolutely nothing about it because you are going to feel fantastic when you leave. You really will. I guarantee it. The way it's going to turn into money for you, and the question you have to ask yourself is, how can I turn what I learned today into money for me and my business? Well, it's going to be mind-numbing discipline in two key areas, in only two. One is intellectual, showing up or being on the live stream absolutely every single month, once a month. That's it. Once a month. And then the implementation or the application is once a week. We have mastermind groups that meet on the phone in 30-minute segments that will absolutely change your life, or meet live with a coffee connection weekly. And you have to have at least two buddies, two partners from today who participate with you today, where you hold one another accountable. You have to do it. You have to do both to make it happen, to achieve what you set out today to achieve. To ensure each participant has rock solid follow through, we have a system for that. Go to www.mastermind-seminars.org/register. That's www.mastermind-seminars.org/register, and we will assist you in having strong follow through with what you learn. Does everyone have what we call the fourfold? The fourfold has 14 different panels, which you will be able to visually see and take home with you. On panel six, please write down your biggest challenge. And then as you work through today, write down any ideas you have for solutions. Do not leave here today without having very specific solutions you will commit to do over the next 30 days with at least two other buddies from today's event. So, the topic today, and we have 12 topics every single year. Panel 5 on the fourfold are the same topics each and every year. Your MC or host will share with you the specific topic for today. With each topic, each month, at this event, we have 7 segments. Segment 1 is speed networking, which will be done at each individual location. You'll share your name, your company, your organization, what you would like to accomplish today, your biggest challenge, and your elevator speech. Everyone will break up into groups of 4 individuals, and each person will have 3 minutes to share these 5 things with others in the group. Once everyone has shared, then you will form new groups and do the same thing again. You keep doing this until your MC or host shares it's time to do something else. Segment 2 will be wins and biggest challenges, which is panel 6 on the fourfold. And the MC or host for each location will take 10 minutes to have local groups share their wins from last month's event and or your biggest challenges. Segments 3, 4, and 5 are the 3 elements to the BOS, the Business Operating System, which is panel 7, 8, and 9 of the fourfold. The BOS, Business Operating System, is the engine that runs our business. We earn the money we earn, work the hours we work, we have the stress we do or do not have due to our BOS. And the first element to our BOS, our engine, is the DNA for people, or personality masteries. The second segment is DNA for business, and the third segment is DNA for life. Segment 3, panel 10 on the fourfold, The DNA for people is personality masteries. We can learn how to identify someone's personality in 15 seconds. And once we know someone's personality, we know their strengths, their weaknesses, what they like, don't like, why they will or won't work with us. We even know if they are married, probably the type of person they're married to, the strengths and weaknesses within their marriage. Yeah, pretty much amazing stuff. Imagine having a system that is so powerful that it will help you increase the leads your business receives, help you convert more leads faster, and obtain more referrals. In segment 4, panel 11 on the fourfold, the DNA for business, this is what we call the 530 grid. There are 5 areas in one's businesses. Area 1, marketing. How do we generate more and better leads? Area 2, pre-sales. How do we convert more leads to clients? Area 3, the sale. How do we convert leads faster? Area 4, servicing. How do we service our clients in the most amazing way where they refer everyone they know to us? And Area 5, client for life, where our clients become our partners and we start to work with all the spheres of influence they are connected with. In segment 5, panel 12 on the fourfold, the DNA for life. This is natural laws. Natural laws govern all that we do. In many ways, it's the hardest of the 3 DNAs to teach, to learn. There are over 500 natural laws which govern our business, our income, and really every area of life. One of those natural laws is the cluster principle. The cluster principle states that it's not unusual that someone making a buying or selling decision will know between 3 and 9 other people over the next 6 to 12 months who are making a similar buying decision as our prospect or client. Imagine what would happen with our business if we had every prospect referring us 2 or 3 or even more additional prospects. Yes, our businesses would double each and every year, and that's just one of the over 500 natural laws applied through our BOS, our engine. Again, BOS consists of DNA for people, DNA for business, and DNA for life. And it's the engine that runs our business, organization, and depending on how good it is, all the money we're going to earn, the time we're going to have, the stress and the life balance you're going to have or don't have. Segment 6 is Q&A, and that can be done either at your local level or it can be done through the video stream. That's up to your local MC or host, because we're going to hit you with a lot of information today, and I hope you're ready, but this will give you a little opportunity to do decompressing. In segment 7, great things are going to happen next month, and we'll all come back together again as we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. So absolutely everything we do today will be focused on the topic for the month, which will be shared with you in just a minute. Are we clear? Do we understand what we will be accomplishing today, or at least a big picture perspective?
Hey, welcome to Mastermind Seminars Live. We are so excited that you're here with us. My name is Kevin King. I'll be your MC today. We are in a year 5, which is unbelievable. But year 5, we are moving through a 12-month course, if you will, of how to help people achieve their life vision. And we don't start with that. That's a little too difficult. It's kind of like jumping right into calculus when you're in kindergarten. So what we do is we start with the value of installing systems. That was last month. So year 5 started, and it was a fantastic live event. Probably 35, 40 people were there at the event here in Chicago. Fantastic. There's a lot of people that participated. Fantastic deep stories about how people are using the value of installing systems to not only overcome the challenges that they have, but also to help them achieve the dreams and the goals that they have. We have a lot of people here today. We're excited for that. Today's subject, though, is month 2. So we're in month 2, and it's generating more and better leads, generating more and better leads. And everything we do, every segment, every 7 segments that we have is all about generating more and better leads. So the first segment is going to be our networking. It's speed networking. It's unlike anything else you've had before, where networking is just, I give you a fish, you give me a fish, we both walk away happy because we got something we didn't have before. But this is much more important. It's a lot deeper. It goes to the core to help you map out the people you're working with to help them achieve their life vision. Second, we're going to be looking at wins and biggest challenges. And that's really important because we got to know what's happening, how people are actually using the information that we're giving. Again, and the three segments that come right after that are what we call the BOS, the Business Operating System. And that's the DNA for people, DNA for business, and the DNA for life. And that's personality masteries, the 530 grid, and natural laws. We're really excited to have a couple people with us. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Lee in a minute, but she's going to be doing the DNA for people for us. So excited to have Rosanna back with us, who's the leader of the Awesome Women's Group. And I'll tell you, the DNA for business and her understanding of the 530 grid and business goes back to the fact that she has been a stay-at-home mom for 20, 30 years. And she has, and you think, well, what does stay-at-home mom have anything to do with business? You're going to find out a whole lot. Actually, there's a lot of corollaries you're going to find out. And then we're going to have Mark. Mark is going to come on. He's the president of Synergy Solutions, and he's going to be doing the natural laws and how all those things tie in together for generating more and better leads. Then finally, if you felt like you've had a drink out of a fire hose today, chances are you have, because we're going to move pretty fast here, pretty tight. We're going to get you in and out of here pretty quickly. And then the seventh segment is what's happening, great segments that are happening not only next month, but the months to follow and all down the line. So to start everything off, we're going to introduce Mark. Mark's going to help us out also with networking. So speed networking, Mark, and how does generating more and better leads fit into speed networking, and how can that really change our lives?
Yeah, great question, Kevin. You know, it's interesting because I'm not a natural networker. I love people. I just don't like to be around them. And so, you know, I'm an introvert, and so I'm a driver analytic personality, and so I can go to an event and just stand in the corner and not talk to anybody, and I'm happy with that. So I've had to learn that doesn't work so well for business, and so I've had to learn some techniques that help me to overcome. If you're working a networking group of people, a room of people, ideally you'd have 4 people. So if you can have 4 people, 1 from each corner, so you just start off, you know, one person in, one corner, another one in another, and then you all work to the center. You can either go ahead and look for quantity or quality. If you're looking for quantity, you just get somebody's biggest challenge and get their business card and just say, you know, I was just curious with all the things that you've got going, what's the biggest challenge you're facing in any area of your business or life? And then you just take their business card and you just write on the back and write down what their biggest challenge is. And then if you want, depending on how many people you want to go ahead and get, you can say, tell me a little bit more about that. And then they'll tell you more. And then you go, I'm going to give that some thought and connect with you in the next few days if that works. Does that work for you? They'll say yes, and you go to the next one. You do the same thing. And so the objective is if you don't get those people, there's a chance that you'll never get them if you don't get them right then and there. So the biggest challenge, once you get somebody's biggest challenge, you have access into them, in the most amazing way. So you're able to do a large quantity of networking very, very quickly. A technique that Kevin's using is Kevin's mastered this beyond anybody I've seen, and that is that he's integrating his DNA directly into coffee connections literally all over the world. And so one of the things, if you go to mycoffeeconnection.org, so that's mycoffeeconnection.org, and then view Coffee Connection Live, and then Coffee Connection handouts. So there's some really cool things that you can have there. One is the action card, and so that's not only the biggest challenge, but there's 7 questions. If you want to go deep with somebody, ask those 7 questions. Kevin's actually built himself right into the Coffee Connection survey, so all the Coffee Connections are starting to build this into their presentation to what they do. And so at the end, for somebody who visits, or then once every quarter, they go through and rate 1 to 10 how they're doing on the Coffee Connection. And then there's 7 things that they can rate their interest in having assistance, and Kevin's built it right into number 5, saving money on health insurance. So if somebody rates that high, Kevin knows that he's got somebody that's very interested. So he's plugged in to coffee connections all around the world and generating opportunities where he can help a lot of others. Somebody who's, I think, naturally gifted in networking, like I've had to learn it. So there's some benefits to, talking with somebody like me, because I don't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it, so I had to learn it. But there's also benefit in talking to somebody who's just naturally gifted at it, and that would be Lee Smith. Like she loves doing it. She's actually built the most innovative company around that, and she attends so many networking groups. So Lee, tell us a little bit about your passion for networking, why you love it so much, and then how you actually built an entire business around it.
My pleasure, Mark. Thank you. I have always been fascinated with meeting people because even at a young age, I understood that people have stories, and I love listening to stories. And the only way I'm going to hear those stories is meeting people and asking about their stories. And now as an adult, when I hear the stories in my local community in Reno, Nevada, I am able to make connections out of that. And who doesn't love a win-win collaboration? So out of my passion for networking and meeting new people and hearing those stories, I thought, well, can I get paid to network since this is something that I love to do? And when I met with the small business owners that I already had relationships with, I said, I've been a stay-at-home mom for the past 15 years. I have plenty of time on my hands. If I took my time and my resources and went out and found these connections for you, would that be something of value to you? And these small business owners who have their own passions dedicated to their venues and their services, they just looked at me with wide eyes and excitement and said, you would do that for me? And they said, absolutely, I want to work with you. And I said, let's play and see what happens. And it's been an exciting 5 months.
So for somebody who's not as gifted as you are naturally, what suggestions would you give to somebody who does do some networking, but let's say maybe they don't do it so well? What suggestions or tips would you give to somebody like that, Lee?
I would focus on keeping it simple and doing that with 2 things. 1, smile. A smile is welcoming. It puts out positive energy, and when you put out positive energy, you tend to attract positive energy. The second thing in keeping it simple, I would say use the question like you mentioned earlier, just simply asking, what's your biggest challenge? And people are very willing to share what that is. And when you can say, let me think about that and get back to you because I might be able to help you. Can we continue the conversation? I have not had a single person tell me no. Everybody wants to continue that conversation.
Nice.
It's that simple.
And you were on the MVP project, so that's the MVPnetwork.org, and you were interviewed for a case study that's connected back into Mastermind Seminars. Why do you think video is so important to cloning oneself, and especially the 1-minute MVP video? Why do you think that can be so helpful and beneficial to people, Lee?
That's a great question, Mark. I think it could be so beneficial because as much as I love doing what I'm doing, I can't be everywhere all the time. So I can use the 1-minute video to clone myself, and I can send that to potential clients. And video is just the way to go today. People they're not big on emails. They're not big on just pictures, and they're not big on the typical social media news feeds, if you will. But a video will captivate them and engage them for a moment. And in a 1-minute video, we can express 1,000 words that can be effective and powerful. And being able to do that anytime that I can't be around is leveraging my time. So I'm able to accomplish more with less effort and less time.
Nice. So, Kevin, one of the things I found is the MVPnetwork.org. There's a whole success library, and then there's a case study library, and they're doing 12 topics now connected back in case studies to each of the 12 topics. So they've done the value of installing systems, and then how do you use media to do that, generating more and better leads, and then how do you use media to do that, and then converting more prospects to clients, how do you use media to do it. And I believe, if I remember correctly, Lee did the case study on converting more leads faster. So there's this whole wealth of resources, Kevin, that are available through the MVPnetwork.org that's just waiting for people. And you can share that with other people. As we help other people see greater success, they go ahead and help us, and together we can accomplish so much more than we ever could on our own.
Wow, that's tremendous, Lee. Thank you so much, Mark. I certainly appreciate that. I certainly hope you're getting an idea now, just a few minutes into our broadcast today, to see exactly how you can generate more and better leads. And it doesn't have to take rocket science to have that happen. This is actually addition. And what some people are doing is closer to multiplication and division. But just taking that one segment and just applying that to your life can make a huge difference. And people are like, well, man, I was kind of asleep at the wheel, Kev. I know you wouldn't say that, but maybe you would. Maybe you'd be honest enough to say that. I would encourage you to go to mastermind-seminars.org, just like you came here to see the live program, mastermind-seminars.org/live, and you're going to see a huge library of what's happening here. You can go to home at mastermindseminars.org, and you'll just find even more things that are available. If you go down to the lower left-hand corner of mastermind-seminars.org, you're going to see more about MMS, which is Mastermind Seminars, and you're going to see a whole library of videos. So in about a week or so, or even less than that, the MVP Network, which works closely with Life Mastery Institute, is going to make that available to you free of charge. All we just have to do is actually go on and listen to that, take notes, and start doing what Lee is doing. And you know what? You might want to mention Lee, pay it forward, and there's other ways to do that as well. So we're excited to have you guys on board. Thank you so much for what you have shared. That's just tremendous. That is just absolutely tremendous in networking. And we kind of got into the next segment already, but I'd like to open it up even more so to wins and biggest challenges, because those are the things that are amazing. I don't know if Nicole has anything that she likes to share. Mark, I know that you have some things going on. There's a lot of other things happening that you had mentioned. We'd just like to open it up, and let's talk about wins and biggest challenges that we're experiencing here.
Okay, Kevin. So at Tanglewood, we started a coffee connection, and one of our wins is that we actually got some new people to come to the coffee connection. So we've had some successes with that. And with getting the new people to the coffee connection, we get new ideas and new things and new people to spread information through to grow our company and to grow others' companies as well. So that was our win this week.
Wow, that's fantastic. And from that, you're hoping it's going to be generating more and better leads from that for your company?
Yes, because we're getting other connections, and so they're able to put us in connection with different people who can then get us to the right, I should say, level clientele. So we're getting better quality as well as numbers. Good.
That's great. That's outstanding. So what are some good power partners or quantity and what are the quality of leads that you're looking for?
Well, with what our company does, we do high-end glass architecture, so we need to get in touch with high-end architects, high-end residential clients, high-end builders, and so we've been able to do that through this.
Fantastic. and they're receiving value. Both of you are receiving value, Tanglewood and the architects or the clients or the engineers or people. They're receiving value as well.
Yes, because we're exchanging what we know and bringing it to them, and then they're exchanging what they have, and kind of they're giving us the clientele, and we're giving them the knowledge that we've learned.
Wow, clientele and an IP swap. Is that kind of what's going on?
Seems like.
Okay, that's pretty exciting. So you're not holding the IP back and you're not selling that, you're giving that. Why would you do that?
I guess.
Didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm like.
Well, no, my theory on this is the more you give, the more you receive.
Interesting. See, that's one of the key things that we're here about. I really appreciate you sharing that because that is key when we're able to do that. It's kind of interesting because Microsoft had more of an open platform early on than Macintosh. Macintosh has since kind of caught on board, but one of the takeoffs was they were sharing the information, which was kind of unheard of at the time, but it's made them Microsoft. You probably heard of them and their company because they did that. The same thing can happen to Tanglewood, and the same thing can happen to you. So that's exciting. That's really exciting. Appreciate you sharing that. Are there any other wins you wanted to share?
I've got one, Kevin. It's Cheryl.
Cheryl, go ahead.
We had a visitor yesterday, and it was Nadine from Kosovo.
Really? Wait a sec. Nadine, she's all the way from Europe. She actually showed up in person?
Yeah, she's in this country doing some fundraising. So she was in Washington, D.C., and made the trek over to, meet Alan and Tanglewood and, talk to Nicole just to find out what we're about, what we're doing with our advanced manufacturing program within the school system, with our Untangled Minds Foundation. So she talked to our engineers, the whole company, and it was neat to meet her.
That's great. Wow. And we're going to be telling you more about what's happening in Kosovo later, but just know that what you see today as a virtual event will be live in Europe, and it will happen very, very shortly. We're going to give you more information on that later. That's really exciting. So Nadine's fired up. You guys get a chance to chat and get to know each other and kind of set the groundwork for what's going to happen?
Yeah, and I think there's a idea swapping, for how she got her school off the ground and what she needs, and her drawing on our experience with what we've done inside the school system with the advanced manufacturing program.
Wow, that's huge. So it's not just nationally, but it's internationally.
Yep.
Taking off now. That's tremendous. Again, sharing the information to generate more and better leads. You see how you can start doing this? You're like, well, I don't have a Nadine. You don't? Why don't you contact Cheryl at Tanglewood Conservatories? How could they contact you, Cheryl?
Very easily. They can email me at teamsuccess@tanglewoodconservatories.com.
Say that one more time so people get it.
teamsuccess@tanglewoodconservatories.com.
Fantastic. You see how easy that is to generate more and better leads? Why don't you email Cheryl during, I know you're doing other things. You're not just listening to me prattle on here. Listen, email her right now. Just go ahead and send it while you're seeing what's going on and what's happening today. You can generate more and better leads right now while we're talking about it. Don't be a seminar junkie and just go, oh, that was great, it made me feel good. No. Now do something about it. Take action, and that's how you can have a win here. Thank you so much, Cheryl. We're going to open it up again. Is there any other thing you wanted to share or with any other wins or biggest challenges?
Hey, Kevin, this is Lee. I'd love to jump in with my win.
Go ahead, Lee.
I had a conversation with Mark telling him I needed more time to get things done, and he talked to me about the 30-day time challenge. So I followed his instructions with the 30-day time challenge, and I got so excited about it and the impact it had on me with my productivity and how I was able to find more time that I decided to bring it to the community, and I created a Friday coffee connection that I started 3 weeks ago. So that first day I had 3 gentlemen. The second Friday I had 6 attendees, and last week we had a total of 11 people attend. And so the coffee connection has launched, and it's so exciting because I have people from different industries that they all want more time. So it's great to leverage that and help them understand the natural laws about time so that for every 1 hour they put in, they can gain 3 hours back. And last Friday was so exciting because I showed them the MVP video called The Success Circle of 12. And at the end of that video were these words that popped up. And I use that as a tool at the end of my coffee connection, asking them, did you find value in this 1 hour we spent together? And they said, yes. I said, great. Can you give me your one word? And there were 11 unique one-word feedback from the value that they found. And I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's connection because I know it's just going to continue to grow. And with that momentum and with that excitement and the value that we're exchanging among one another, I'm really looking forward to taking something like this that's virtual and bringing it live to the Reno community and watching it impact even more businesses.
Wow, we're looking forward to that happening, and that won't happen too long in the future either. We'll talk about that as well. Would you be able to share with us, do you remember, or did you write down some of the words that were used after they saw this video that they used to describe it?
Some of the words were insightful, informative, inspiring. Those are the ones that I remember right now off the top of my head, but they were powerful words. It was great.
They are powerful. Wow, that's fantastic. Lee, thank you so much for jumping in. Any other wins and biggest challenges you want to share?
Those are my great wins for now, just continuing to grow organically. And when people hear just even a drop of what I say, they're like, how do I get in on that? So it's exciting to have that momentum.
So Lee, what about the mastermind seminar in Reno? Like, why did you jump into that? How is that giving you more time than it's taking from you? Why would you recommend other people, set up a mastermind seminar in their own local area?
I was attracted to the mastermind because it aligns with my vision to strengthen the community. And if I can use that system to leverage bringing these members of the community together and giving them that value and showing them that it's not about me, it's not about leveraging me, it's about leveraging all of us. And truly, we can do so much more together than we ever can on our own. So if we can do that, meeting belly to belly, there's an energy and a dynamic there that creates this ripple effect, if you will, and just perpetuate what the possibilities of what we can do. And so, and I think we started with a weekly call with you, Mark, and I just thought, well, there's so many people in Reno already on this call. Let's get ourselves together and meet face to face and just multiply that even more. And so I think there's so much power behind that. And when people can look at each other's faces and then have that conversation face to face where they're able to talk about their challenges, learn from one another, and then collaborate those ideas and those actions and then see the results from that, it's so attractive and it just keeps going.
Nice.
That's outstanding. Thank you so much. I hope you're getting an idea, those of you who are joining us virtually here, of how generating more and better leads can happen for you in your area. So one other question, and this is for Mark, or this is for Lee, or this is for anybody right now. If people want to start their own mastermind seminar or their local coffee connection, how would you do that?
Probably the best way, Kevin, to do it, there's a number of ways to do it, but the best way probably is to connect with Emily at 610 451-9941. That's 610-451-9941. Or you can connect with Life Masteries Institute, toll free at 888-230-2300. That's 888-230-2300. Or if individuals are calling outside the U.S., they can call the U.S.-based number at 630-393-9909. That's 630-393-9909.
With all the tremendous, and I appreciate you sharing that, with all the tremendous value and the benefits that's coming out of that, there must be some kind of tremendous cost also associated with getting one of these things started, right?
Yeah, great question. It's actually all sponsored through Life Masteries Institute. So they're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And so individuals that are setting up the event, they're responsible for their own location, and they can usually get it at a library. And so there's no cost to go ahead and for the local group to do that. Often the local group, they might charge a minimal fee of like $35 to attend to cover some of the materials and some of the other types of things. And so it's minimal to be able to do because Life Masteries really has a passion for connecting businesses and community-based organizations together to be able to bring massive mutual benefit within the community.
That's huge. I mean, most people have lost $35 before, so intentionally investing, that's nothing. To actually get something started work and actually change everything. Most people spend thousands or tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in businesses to generate more and better leads on a constant basis. I know talking with one organization just recently, they spent $700,000 to create a specific customer relationship database to help generate more and better leads, but you certainly don't have to spend almost $1 million to do it. It's something's already in place. So I think that's huge, be able to not only pay that minimal amount, but pay it forward. I mean, it's not just the amount that it costs, it's the amount that, what's the value in it for you? And you can pay that. Is there a way somebody can pay it forward, even just something like on a regular basis? Can they contribute to Life Masteries to kind of help offset the costs as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So if individuals go to mastermind-seminars.org.
Okay.
Well, let's see. There's that would be one way. Another way probably, and there's some additional resources. Maybe this is a little easier way. If you go to DNA for Life-Laws, DNA, FOR, for Life-Laws.com, and then pay it forward. And that shows, you can do that, weekly gift or monthly or one-time gift, and then there's stories of success, and there's life-changing causes. So there's a whole bunch of things. So not only are you, just being generous to others who have been generous to you, but the money that you contribute, helps people all around the world do some amazing things.
That's great. Appreciate you sharing that, Mark. Hey, we have just a minute or two left for any wins or biggest challenges. Does anybody else want to share? Okay. So we will move right into the next segment. So we're going to be moving into the BOS, which is the Business Operating System. And again, we're talking about generating more and better leads, and we have to remind ourselves of that because, we can get caught up in the details, or we can move so fast trying to achieve our goal. We may miss that out. We might get so excited about generating more and better leads, but not knowing how to do it or why we'd be doing it in the first place. So in order to help us do that, and we've got these great things that are going on, we're going to get into the kind of the how-to. Not that we haven't already heard some amazing how-to, but the fact is that we have to understand who we're dealing with once we have a copy connection. The 530 grid, once we actually have somebody who's interested, what kind of steps do we take? What's a pattern that we can use in order to help someone else generate more and better leads? And then what are some of the laws that kind of tie these things together? And that's really what the BOS system is. It's an engine for our company, for our business, for our non-for-profit, for our, maybe it's a community group. However that is, it's going to be the way in which we can actually make things happen. And that's really important. So to start the first segment, we're going to get back to Lee, just a little bit about Lee before she hops on board. I think it's important you know that Lee was a stay-at-home mom for over 15 years. And again, Rosanna, who's doing segment 2, is also a stay-at-home mom for a number of years too. But one thing that Lee has found, and I think it would be really important for you to listen, is that 20 years ago, she had dreams and goals, and she has held on to that. And she says it's never too late to reconnect with your dreams, pick up your dreams, and chase them. So I want you to listen very intently as Lee comes on for the very first time, and she shares personality masteries and how that's going to help us generate more and better leads. Lee, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. I really appreciate that fantastic introduction. Well, personality masteries is something that I am striving toward and learning. It's a daily work in progress, but I tell you what, it is a fantastic tool for connecting with people. And the better that we can connect and build those relationships, the better leads we are going to generate. And personality masteries is essentially the science of understanding of what makes people tick. And here's what we found. We tend to like people that are like us. We have similar things in common. And the funny part is we tend to fall in love with people who are opposite of what we are. And what you can see here are different shapes. If you can see them, you can see a cube, a pyramid, a ball, and a wavy line. And if you were to put those in order, what do you tend to like the most? The cube, the pyramid, the wavy line, or the ball? For me personally, I like the pyramid first, and I like the wavy line second, followed by the ball third, and then the cube fourth. And that puts my personality as a driver expressive. So I like to get things done aggressively and make things happen, but I want to have fun along the way too. And another way we can look at it is, what's the most frustrating thing for us? So which of these 4 things would cause you the most frustration in any area of your business or personal life? Is it things not being done properly in order, things that are out of control, things that are boring or not fun, or conflict with others? And much like the shape, which order would you put that in? Like for me, the most frustration would be something that's boring or not fun. I absolutely love to have fun in life. And so when you rate these things and then take a look at them, in 15 seconds, you can learn so much about an individual, like their strengths and their weaknesses, what they like and what they don't like, what turns them on, what turns them off. You'll even understand who they're married to if they're married, and maybe some conflicts within that marriage. You'll know what to say, when to say, and how to say it. You'll know how to connect with those people based on their personalities. You'll know why they're successful in what they're doing, and you'll also get an understanding of what their challenges are. So let's go back to those shapes a little bit, because if the cube is what you like, you're an analytical. And you like to dot your I's and you like to cross your T's and make sure that things are done properly in order. And that's fantastic. If you prefer the pyramid first, you're a driver. So you've got drive, you've got aggressiveness, you like to make things happen. If you choose the wavy line first, you're an expressive. So you're energetic and you're excited and you have a lot of enthusiasm. And if the ball is your first choice, you're amiable. So you have a lot of great concern and compassion for people. And those are all different strengths. But guess what? Our greatest strength is also our greatest weakness. And our greatest weakness is our greatest strength misapplied. Now, here's an interesting part too. What if you looked at all those different shapes and you're thinking, I don't know, they all kind of speak to me. Or maybe you thought, this is kind of a silly, ridiculous test. You actually have a personality too. We call it the chameleon personality or the inner quadrant personality. So a little bit of everything. And your greatest strength is your flexibility. And your greatest weakness is your flexibility. So when we understand these different personalities and how we can interact with people, again, we can generate more and better leads. And as a new entrepreneur myself, when I get to meet with a potential client and have a conversation with them, I can use this tool, and it's fun because it creates curiosity. People looking like, why are we picking these shapes? And then when you come back with the feedback, you might give them more insight than them. You might know them better than they know themselves. So it's a fun way to interact with somebody, get to know them, and then you can maximize that relationship. And when you can maximize the relationship, you can close better and create that collaboration or provide that service, because now you're speaking to that person's need. And when you can fulfill that need, you're going to enhance your business. And that's a win for everybody. So these personalities are fun. We all have them. And when we understand them and can work with them, we can create greater success in our relationship. And we can do that personally too. Like I mentioned earlier, we tend to fall in love with people that are opposite of what we are. I am the driver expressive, and my husband, can you guess? He's the analytic amiable. So it's a lot of fun watching our different interactions now that we get to know each other better. So I hope you find this helpful.
That's great, Lee. Thank you so much for sharing that. Wow. First time on, I'm kind of curious. How did you master that, or maybe not master it, but how did you get it so tight in such a short period of time? You haven't been on for 5 years. Well, what have you been doing?
I've been studying the courses behind the personality masteries. My colleague, Ed Noel, he introduced this to me when I met him in June or July of last year. And from that, he introduced me to Mark. And I think I ask Mark a question weekly, if not every other day, and just continuously love to learn. And I love psychology and really finding different ways of connecting with people and understanding what makes them tick and then helping them go from there. So I just studied the information again and again until I felt comfortable with it, and then just followed notes along. And it's fun.
That's great. So what advice would you give to somebody else who wants to understand personality masteries?
I don't remember exactly. To go to the DNA for Life-log.org, I believe. That's the site. DNA for Life-log.com, and then clicking on DNA for People, and then finding more information about the personality masteries. And the more that you can study it, there's even a certified course that goes with it. I believe it's a 7-week course, so you can dive deep into it and use that as a tool to propel your success.
Excellent. So I've got a question for you. We're going to open it up we got time for 2 or 3 questions here. So when you're working on marketing to generate more and better leads, what personalities should we talk to, Lee?
All of them. There's a way to talk to all of them. And when people feel understood and they know that you care, they will care about what you know. And so what you know is value that you can provide to them. And when they see that value, they're going to want to connect with you even more.
Interesting. You know, it sounds like you're pretty concerned, at least as concerned, or it almost sounds like you're more concerned about somebody else's benefit or what's in it for them than they may even be for themselves. That might sound odd, but I kind of get that idea from your conversation earlier with how you've generated a way to connect with people for small businesses. Is that right, or not so much?
No, you're spot on, Kevin. Absolutely. I love to dive into the heart of people, and when I can touch their heart, I can provide them a message that speaks to them, and that's what I want. I want them to know that I care about them. At the end of the day, do we want to make more money? Sure, but that has to begin with relationships. The money will follow. But if I chase the money first, I'm going to be chasing the people away.
Wow, that's a great point. Hey, we'll open it up. Is there anyone else that has a question for Lee about personality masteries and how that can help us generate more and better leads?
Yeah, I have a question. What specific words are each of the personalities more drawn to?
That's a great question. different words. Like with a cube, it's more about the details, and they like to think things through. The wavy line, they think of creativity and fun and spontaneity. With the driver, it's action and results oriented and making things happen. And with the amiable, they focus on heart and friendships and relationships. So those are just some examples of some words that can clue you into those different personalities. But the best way to do it is to take the action card, because it has the shapes on there, or even if you just draw out the 2D shapes with a triangle, square, circle, and a couple of wavy lines. When people can see that visual, that's what you want to get first before you get into the word. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. Thank you. Any other questions for Lee for Personality Masteries?
Lee, how do you get so much of your energy driven into these type of things? I mean, you have a lot of energy that you have used to learn this and to create a coffee connection and to connect with other people. What drives you?
I think my drive is just loving people. I genuinely do. I have from the get-go. I had the privilege of going to Europe when I was 16 years old, and I spoke to anybody who would speak to me. Number one, because I loved listening to the different accents, and then I was always asking, what's your story? What is your story? And I find people fascinating, and no matter who they are, and especially if they come from a unique background, and then finding out what they're doing with that, it's just amazing to me. And Reno is a hidden gem, and there's so many wonderful people here. And when I get a chance to talk with a small business owner and say, of all the places in the world, why Reno? And then they tell me that story. And I'm like, okay, fantastic. And now you have this business. Why are you doing mortgage? Why are you opening a restaurant? Why are you opening a sushi joint? Reno has 20 plus all-you-can-eat sushi venues. So when somebody opens up another one, I'm like, why? When we have so many already, and what's making you different from everybody else? So when I get to hear those questions and those stories, and then I do dive into what's your biggest challenge right now? And then when I'm able to come up with a connection for them that can help them with that challenge, and I see that win-win opportunity, that's what gets me excited. And knowing that I can help create better relationships and be that rising tide that helps to raise all the boats. I'm just one little person, but when I can make that big difference, that's what gets me out of the bed in the morning. And I guess that's just been a part of my life vision. And when I tap into that vision and say, you know what, I am going to be somebody who's going to empower somebody else today. I am going to be somebody who is going to be vibrant and help raise somebody to their next level. And I have these gifts that I'm able to recognize, and I'm going to shine with the intent of inspiring others to shine. And if I can do that, the endorphins kick in, and it just makes every day exciting. So it's just taking that gift and recognizing the vision and moving forward with it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Wow. Yeah, thank you so much, Lee. I appreciate that. We're going to move on now. That was fantastic. Really appreciate you sharing that, Lee. It's a huge inspiration to everybody here on the call. We're moving into the next segment here, which is going to be the 530 grid, and that's the DNA for business. Now Lee is a stay-at-home mom, and Rosanna was a stay-at-home mom for a number of years, and she heads up the awesome women's group. If you're not part of that, you need to get part of that. If you're a man and you have a significant woman in your life, then get her involved. And I'm excited to see what Rosanna's going to share now about the 530 grid and the DNA for business and how it relates to generating more and better leads. Rosanna, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. So, more and better leads. When you hear that, what does that mean to you? What does it sound like to you? What do you want to do with that? How do you want to get where you want to go? And so I was thinking, as I was listening to Lee, and she had so many ideas on how to connect with lots of people. And I think the most important thing is to know that people have stories, and Lee said that, and getting people to talk about themselves helps you to connect with them. And so asking them their biggest challenge and what they'd love help on gives you a door to people. Okay, so how do we connect with people? Maybe you're an introvert and you don't like to be out with people. You don't like to be in places where lots of people are. How do you do that? That's connecting with one person, maybe someone who if you see the action card on the screen, maybe it's somebody who is a squiggly line and she or he connects with people very well, and you see that. You're at a party and you see this person walking around and they're like talking to everybody and it's so exciting, and getting them to introduce you to a new person. And then pretty soon that person comes over and you're talking and another person comes over. And so you get to know people that way. So that's one way to connect with people. Another way to connect with people would be to do what Lee has done in creating the coffee connection. She said the first time she had it was 3, then in the next week it was 6, and then it was 11. How did that happen? I mean, what did they do that made it bigger and better? And so I think as I understand, she probably encouraged each person to talk to one other person. And if you do that, you can connect with quite a few people. So they come to the coffee connection, then what? Well, we need to have some sort of way to connect with them and to get to know them and to go ahead and be able to connect with them later. Yeah, you're there, you're talking, you get their name, and you're just chatting away. But what is it that you need to know so you can connect with them later? Well, you would need to know their phone number. You would need to know their email. You would need to know maybe a little bit about them and asking them the questions that Lee did, asking them the cube, the pyramid, the wavy line, the ball questions. How do you do that? There's called an action card that we have encouraged people to go ahead, and it's even online, theactioncard.org, that you can go ahead and print some of them off and take them to wherever you're going, if you're having an event or if you have some sort of connection with people. So here's getting the lead. Then what do you do with them? Well, on the 530 grid, they teach you how to take care of those leads. And what do you do first? Well, first we did the very first one. We identified targets. We have some leads. What do we do with them? And so the next thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and develop and deliver a message. Okay, so we connected with a mortgage person, a real estate person, a person who owns a chiropractic business. What do we do with that? Well, we have to think about the message that we want to get across. Well, we need to know a little bit more about the person. Having them fill out the action card helps you to know what their biggest challenge is, so you can use that biggest challenge in the email that you send to them. Say, hey, I've been thinking about your biggest challenge, and I see that you'd like to go ahead and connect with more people, and this is what I think we could do. And then when they have the action card filled out, they're also opening themselves up to go ahead and get another conversation with you. So you call them up and say, hey, I have a really cool complimentary session that we'd like to talk about. It's called a 30-minute strategy session. And that goes over a little deeper questions, gets to know the person a lot better, and it also helps us understand what to do. If you go to a doctor and the doctor says to you, well, I'm going to give you penicillin just because you're there, I don't think I'd go back to that doctor. I would want to tell the doctor what's going on with me. I'd want to know exactly, him to know what I'm feeling. I have a sinus infection or I have an ear infection. Then maybe they can give me the prescription. But I wouldn't want them to give me the prescription before they got the examination done. And so that's what a 30-minute strategy session does. It examines the person and gets to know them a little bit better so that you can kind of help them, guide them along to maybe even actually solve their biggest challenge in the solution that you give them. So now we're going to go down to number 3. Okay, we have all these leads. We've delivered a message. We've connected with these people. We've got a 30-minute strategy session. What do we do with it now? We better have a system to keep track of those leads. We better have a CRM system or something that goes ahead and gets their name, their address, their phone number, their email address, so that we can connect with them. And when you connect with them and you rate those leads, are they good leads? Are they people that you want to connect with again? Or are they people that, well, they're nice and all, but I don't think they're very driven? You might find out that they are a little bit more once you do the 30-minute, but you don't know. So you kind of gauge the leads. And so making sure that you have a system that tracks all those leads that come in, all the people that you connect with, the business owners, the restaurant persons you went to see when you got your steak. You know, you want to make sure that you have, you know, you really like them. You like the way he ran his business. You want to connect with him so you get the information. And then what do you do with it? You've already asked the key questions when you do the action card. You've got those key questions. And then you go ahead and you're making sure that you have some sort of a system that keeps connecting with them. And we call it the golden triangle on the 530 grid. And so implementing a system that connects with them regularly. Maybe if, you know, you have emails set up and you figure out these are the people I'm going to connect with. They're mortgage people. So I'm going to go ahead and give these 10 different emails to them. And it's just touching their heart one at a time. And then you get to know them a little bit better. Once you get all that information and sending it out, you want to make sure that you're getting the right people together with the right messages. And so then you would make sure you group the people and the messages together, which is box number 6. And there, right now, on that 530 grid, I just gave you a synopsis of what the golden triangle is. It's kind of, if you can see it on the screen, there is a triangle that gives you all the information that would help you to get started in even a small business. Or maybe it's outreach. Maybe you're trying to get people in to donate to something that you want to do. Maybe it's just you're not sure what to do with it, but you know that you want to have a system, and then you go, oh, once I got the system, I know what I want to do with it. I know who I want to connect with. I mean, Lee and myself both are stay-at-home moms that we're in business. You know, we weren't out in the business world for 25 years or so, and so going out into the business world, it makes it what are we going to do with that, and what are we going to connect with? I believe, if I understand, Lee has written a book. I don't know the name of it, so maybe she'll tell us later. But I do understand that connecting with people and getting their stories helps to write the things that you want to write. And I am working on a book myself, Business Sense from Everyday Moms. And I also have an awesome women's group that we work with. And I believe if you want to connect with me on that, I will tell you that the next one we're going to talk about is how do moms get their children not to whine. Well, how does that connect with business, and what do we do with that? Do you have whiners in your company? Do you have people that whine and don't go ahead and want to get things done, or they complain about things? Check it out, because, you know, a lot of things in families are connected with business. Maybe you'll find the answer to your questions in coming on that call or listening in the recording. Or maybe you'll find the answers when you go home tonight and you look and you go, now I figured out how business and families mix. And so that is very helpful. And I think that is all I have for today. If you have any questions, let me know.
Wow, that is fantastic. Rosanna, thank you so much for sharing that. I've just had my mind blown. I was not a stay-at-home mom. which kind of goes without saying. But hey, it can happen. Um, uh, the thing that really caught me was, do you have any whiners in your business? Oh my goodness, that's every business on the planet. So if you're not tuned in, I would absolutely tune in. I hope you're seeing a trend. And the trend I see is, what is the connection between somebody who has been a stay-at-home mom and business? I think stay-at-home moms can actually be a wave, and I think these two ladies, and there's other ladies that are connected in with mastermind seminars, can make this a huge reality. I want you to be connected with that. Rosanna, I do have a question. How do people connect? Because you're going to have that awesome women's group where you're talking about how to get your young boys or even young girls to stop whining. When's the next time, and how do they connect with you so they can listen to that broadcast?
Well, we have a conference call on Monday at 11:30, and the conference call is 712-775-7031, and then you type in the code 688592 and pound, and you will get connected into the call. It's a 30-minute call, not very long, and if for some reason you're working during that time and you're not able to get it, just put a request in to my name is Rosanna, and I have an email that's makingadifferanceinlife7@gmail.com, and you can connect that way, and I will get that recording out to you.
Excellent. That's outstanding. We do have time for maybe one or two questions real quick for Rosanna. Anybody have a question for Rosanna and how the 530 grid can and DNA for business can tie into helping generate more and better leads? I got one. What are some of the best ways to use the 530 grid? I know you did a fantastic job. There was a lot of information there. What's one of the best ways to use the 530 grid to drum up more leads?
I think it would be, once you have an idea where you want to connect with people, is to go ahead and figure out what type of target you're looking for, and then to develop and deliver a message to that person. And it may be as simple as asking them their biggest challenge. So I think Jill Calderon, she came from Coffee Connection, and once she took a girl 19 out with her, and they went walking around to different businesses, and they had the people fill out the action card, just simple asking the questions. Businesses love to say why they have started businesses. What does that do for them? I mean, look at when you go to a hotel or when you go to events, they're handing out something with their business name on them. So they love to go ahead and give out information about their business and get the word out. They give you a card, and they don't care if you take the card back the key card, because it's got their business on it, because you've been to Marriott Hotel or you've done something. So having businesses talk about themselves, they don't have a problem doing that.
Excellent. That's great. Well, Rosanna, I certainly appreciate that. We're moving on to our segment number 3, and the first two have just been amazing. I mean, Lee and Rosanna just knocked it out of the park. Seriously, you need to go back. I'm going to rewatch those again. Just the amazing content here is going to absolutely transform your business and change the way you do life. So we're excited to have them on board today. And we have Mark. Mark is the president of Synergy Solutions. He has been in business for many, many years, and he has helped develop systems and business operating systems customized for everybody's individual needs, and he does that all over the world. We're really excited to have him here today, and how the DNA for Life can help tie into generating more and better leads. Mark, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Kevin, and wow, Rosanna and Lee, just amazing job. when we look at the DNA for life, it's in a way it's one of the most challenging of the 3 DNAs to teach because it's very nonlinear. So when we look at DNA4Success.com, if you haven't had your 30-minute complimentary gift strategy session through Legacy Partners and Life Masteries, you can do that. Go to www.DNA4Success.com, go to examination, and then free 30-minute strategy session. It really connects all the dots together. When we look at our boss system, our business operating system, it's the engine that runs our business. We earn the money, we earn, work the hours, work, have the stress we do or don't have because of that engine. When we have the engine engineered properly, all 3 of the DNAs are connected together. So we're blending in the DNA for people with the DNA for business, and then bringing in the DNA for life, which is natural laws. And this is why it's so tough for the DNA for life, because there's over 500, that's right, over 500 natural laws that we can tap into. So when we look at the topic for today, which is generating more and better leads, like probably hundreds of those laws apply. One of my favorite is what's called the cluster principle. Cluster principle states that individuals that are making buying or selling decisions on average will know between 3 and 9 other people making that same type of buying or selling decision within the next 6 to 12 months. And first-time home buyers, they know other first-time home buyers. People who are buying cars for the first time, people who have kids in college, people who are new to having kids, families getting, people getting married, people retiring. Think about it. Everybody that is doing something in their life tends to cluster around other people. Now, what does this mean for our business? I mean, think about it for just a moment. Like, how many leads are you and I getting every month? I mean, what if we were getting 10 leads or 10,000 or whatever that number is? What if we were to get every one of those leads to be able to refer us, maybe not 3, maybe not 9, but just 1 other lead or 2 other leads? We could double our business every 12 months just based on that one natural law. So if that natural law is true, why are you and I not doubling our business? See, the thing that's tricky about this is it's not just the knowledge base that's necessary. Like, we can't just know about the DNA for people, as Lee talked about, but we've got to have systems in place to do that. We can't just know about the DNA for business, like Rosanna talked about. We've got to have systems in place. And then we've got to somehow blend in the magical powers of the DNA for life into the 530 grid, into the DNA for people. So how do we do that? Well, see, if we do what Rosanna talked about in the GTing it, that'll generate, additional leads for us. A lot of additional leads. It could double or triple the number of leads that we have in. And what's cool about it is you don't have to pay for those leads. Like, they're not internet leads. They're not advertising radio or TV leads. They're actually a higher quality lead than the second generation lead can be stronger than the first generation lead. Now, there are some things about the 530 grid and the DNA for people, personality masteries, and the DNA for life. I mean, there are some things about these that are not brain surgery. It's not rocket science. But what we're talking about now kind of is. It's why it's important to have somebody who's certified, like a certified engineer, an architect in the BOSS system. I mean, this isn't something that they teach in colleges. I mean, I have 3 bachelor's degrees in business, 1 in finance, 1 in management, 1 in marketing, and they never taught me these things. So we need somebody that really understands and has the tools and the systems that can engineer our BOSS for us. So, today's topic is really cool, but kind of a little overwhelming, to be honest with us, because when we look at this, generating more and better leads, it's, it's really cool because there's tons of ways to do that. So we tend to think about, generating more and better leads. Well, that comes from marketing. And it's true, it does. It does come from marketing, so we can generate more and better leads, but it's not just that, is it? No, because when we understand the DNA for life, the natural laws, when we understand the cluster principle, all the leads that we get into pre-sales, when those are worked properly, that can go ahead and double or that can triple those leads. When we're in sales, when we're in the sales process, we can continue to leverage that cluster principle and we can double it again. And when we're in servicing and we're servicing in the most amazing way, we can double it again. I mean, it just continues to get larger and larger. And then probably what's most exciting is the DNA or the client for life. How do we create lifelong relationships? Another natural law is based on university research. They find that the average person knows 250 people. So take all the people you know, multiply it times 250, and what do you get? A big number. 250 times the number. But what's even more exciting is segment out all of the people and look at all the business owners. Those same university researchers found that the average business owner knows over 5,500 people. And look at that number. Like, that's a huge number. My good friend Tom Coons, he and I co-authored the book. Tom's the most recent past president of Century 21, largest real estate franchise in the world. Over 140,000 sales agents in over 70 different countries. And one day, Tom and I were talking about 7 years. We traveled all around the country, co-authored a book, Community Business Partnerships. Tom also raised over $100 million. Yes, $100 million for Easter seals. And so when we understand community business partnerships, it's really powerful. And Tom shared the principle of rings of influence. See, this is, we talk about in business, about caring for our clients, but do we really care? I mean, we do. I mean, if we're in real estate, we care that they get into the home. If, we're a financial planner, we care that they have savings. So we care about them in their own little world, but do we care about something more than that? Do we care about their life balance? Do we care that they've discovered their life vision and are living that life vision every single day? Rings of influence is really cool. Tom said that one of his challenges as president of the largest real estate franchise in the world is he said, it's interesting, Mark, because the franchisor thinks that they're the most important. The franchisee, they think they're the most important. The agent thinks they're the most important. And Mark, we often in business forget that the client is the most important. It's interesting because, my wife and I are now grandparents. And so we have 7 children. We have 5 grandchildren. And so, it's all about, one of the things I love most about grandchildren is our children are starting to realize they're not the center of the universe. And the same thing is true in business. Like, let's not get caught up in ourselves. Let's get caught up in our clients. And when we look at our clients, we have these rings of influence. So there's spiritual, spouse, children, there's career, there's community, there's financial, there's emotional, there's relational, and it's like spinning these rings around them. So when we're impacting them in every area of their life, well, they're going to think about us continually. I mean, it's just like all of these natural laws come together in the most magical symphony. And Life Masteries Institute, they're a nonprofit organization, and so I would encourage you give generously. If you go to dnaforlife-laws.com, if you haven't discovered your life vision, if every one of your clients haven't discovered all of this is free. So you can go in and you can hear real life changing stories. Kevin has an amazing story. So Lee was talking about, stories. As was Rosanna, you can listen to Kevin's story and find out something like that just blows your mind. What if we helped every single person watch Kevin's story. I mean, it really awakens us. It helps us to understand the importance of life. And then there's how do you discover your life vision, and then how do you connect your life vision, and how do you live that life vision every single day. If you go to cool free stuff, there's white papers, video libraries, workbook libraries, survey, ebooks, Success Circle of 12. In the white paper library, there's over 60 white papers, all of them free, that you can go through. You can contribute your own white paper, submit it to be accepted. If you go to the video library, there's just tons of free videos that address all kinds of topics. So blending all of these things together, now if that wasn't enough, we could go ahead and expand it out beyond the 530 grid, and you can actually get into how to generate more leads through profitable partnerships and how to generate leads through leadership, through culture and vision and belief and knowledge, the do, the give, our legacy. Again, it's a symphony that when it comes together, it's the most beautiful music, and we always can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Kevin, hopefully that was helpful in everything that we covered here.
Mark, that was a master's course. Folks, if you didn't listen, then there's something wrong with you. I don't know how else to say it. In that segment, Mark did math, subtraction, multiplication, division, geometry, algebra, and he started to give us the hints of calculus of what can happen in terms of generating more and better leads. Folks, you don't need anything else. All you need is the mastermind seminars and be able to start actually doing it. And here's the crazy thing. You know what the crazy thing is? You're going to feel really good. And you're going to do, statistically speaking, most of you, if not all of you, will do absolutely nothing. Zero, zilch. That's the crazy part about it. If you actually do one thing, just do one thing and start applying it consistently and persistently in your life, in your relationships, in your community business groups, in your business, in your church, in your mosque, in your temple, in your park district, wherever it is, you will change lives. You will change lives now, in the future, and for even eternity. Folks, today was very special, and I'm glad you got a chance to be part of it. We're going to open it up for a few questions, and we're going to keep moving on. So any questions for Mark and about how the DNA for business can change people's lives?
How did you come up with the type of things that you have learned over the years? What did you do to keep track of them, and what do you do to pass them on to others? I mean, not everybody's on this call, so how do you get people to find out more information about what you have learned?
Yeah, great question. Answer to the first question, and probably Phil Siebert. He was a mentor of mine when I was in my mid-30s, and he got me a hardbound journal, and I started journaling, and my journaling's a little different than others. You can actually see some of it on the screen where I journal in pictures, and so I help people to see, like I try to see something. So I struggled in school, so I'm not academically, I really had to work hard. And so I'm an average or below average person. And so if I can figure something out, I figure, anybody can figure it out. And so I journal probably about a half an hour every week. And it's not writing down my thoughts, it's trying to come up with models that will help people visually see very complex things in very simple. So walls of opportunities, when we have challenge in life, how do we go over, under, blow it, and go to the left, go to the right, blow it up, tear it down somehow, some way, we're going to go ahead and make a breakthrough. When Einstein said you can never solve a problem on the level it was created, what does that mean? So there's all of these different models that I've been blessed to be able to develop that help people to quickly see solutions if they're looking for those solutions. So that's what I have done, and it's kind of the way I maintain my sanity. There's just so much. I think it's driven from my life vision. Like Lee, I love to hear that her vision, like Kevin and I have talked in our coffee connection, when your life vision is bigger than death, you get over stuff. When your life vision is bigger than death, you find solutions. When your life vision is bigger than death, I mean, like anything, you can go through anything. And so I think discovering my life vision, knowing very clearly what that is and living that every day, I think, Rosanna, we get so caught up in our own lives, in our own world, in our own problems, that we don't think about, like we sit back in awe and listen to Lee, listen to yourself, listen to Kevin, listen to other people, and we say, that's so good. But we're not thinking about, well, who else in my world, in my life, would benefit from that? So if we have the 530 grid and we already have databases that are there, we can just look at box 6 and say, what groups of people would benefit from what we learned today? I mean, each one's about 10 minutes, and so who would benefit from Lee's 10 minutes? Who would benefit from your 10 minutes? So when we take these 10-minute segments and people, like, it clicks with them, all of a sudden we've changed their life. As we help them grow their business, they're going to help us, and together we can accomplish so much more. So it's just doing something that simple, or what you had said, Rosanna, one person, just do one person after you get off this call, one person, share it with one. And then before the call, one person to get somebody on. If we just connect with 2 people every single week, it's amazing what goes on. Does that help?
It does. Thank you.
Yep.
Wow, that was fantastic. We are almost out of time. Mark, thank you. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much for that amazing compilation of ideas that is so clear. Thank you, Rosanna. Thank you for all you've done and who you are. And Lee, thank you so much. We appreciate your enthusiasm. Everybody, Cheryl, Nicole, other people jumping on the call, we really appreciate you being here. What's happening awesome next time? Brothers and sisters, it's getting good. It's getting really good. 5 years ago, sitting in a little library in a very small suburb of Chicago, Mark Boersma said, can you imagine all of this in every major city in the United States? Then could you imagine that in all the major cities and everywhere in the world? Then you could imagine in local cities everywhere all the time. And I'm looking around. There's like 12 or 15 people to start with. And I'm like, that would be great. I just, I want to just generate more and better leads so I can make some more money and connect with people and see how I can help them. But that's how it works. I hope you get the idea that it's just speaking to 2 other people. That's really all it is, before the call and after the call. So what's happening next time is amazing. The next one that's coming up, the Mastermind Seminars Live, Philadelphia, the Thrilla in Phila. You've got to be there. Just show up. If you're in Maryland, Tanglewood, get some people up there. Seriously, that's going to rock your event, which is going to be happening. Now, Philadelphia, PA, is going to be happening here in May, okay, which is it's going to be just next month. I'm there. Other people are flying out, driving out from all parts of the country. They're coming in because this is amazing. Maryland is going to be in June. What happens in Philadelphia is going to supercharge Maryland. Understand that what happened in Cincinnati, okay, supercharged what happened in Chicago, which is now helping Philadelphia, which is also helping Maryland. And same month, we are international in Kosovo. You heard it earlier. Natalie from Kosovo is raising money in Washington, D.C. for her school in Kosovo. It's a brand new country. We have the opportunity, for 10 years old, got the opportunity to influence a country with all of this. This is just absolutely amazing. And then not to be underdone by that, all of that is going to compile and even supercharge Reno, which is going to be in 11 or 12 months. Folks, if you're not on board now, you might get lost in the shuffle. We don't want that. I mean, get on board now. Just connect. Do the Twitter, tweet, whatever you need to do. Call us. The information's there. Connect. I know I'm getting a little excited here, but folks, when it is bigger than life, when it's bigger than death, when it's bigger than anything you have ever seen before, your life will be changed, and we want you to be part of it. We want your life to be changed. Everybody around you, thank you so much. We're out of time. You have a fantastic day. God bless. Be safe, and truly, all of us, everyone can achieve more together than we could ever achieve on our own. Have an amazing day. We'll see you next month.
Welcome, everyone, to Mastermind Seminars
go
Live.
Into kind of a debrief. Typically, it's...
Wow. So what did you think? Did you feel like you're drinking out of a fire hose? A lot of information in a very short period of time. We get it. Don't worry if you don't pick it all up the first time, because each month you'll come back, you'll pick up more and more each and every month. The more we pick up and apply, the more money we'll earn as a result of attending this event, and the more time we'll have, the less stress we'll have, and the greater life balance we'll have in every area of life we value. Often people ask, what's next? Great question. Did you register yet that you attended? If not, do that immediately at www.mastermind-seminars.org/register. That's www.mastermind-seminars.org/register. And we will assist you in having strong follow-through with what you learn. There are some amazing follow-up resources that we will get over. There is no charge for any of these resources. Okay, so you've registered. Now what? If you haven't already done your complimentary 30-minute gift coaching session, then that is the place to start. Go to www.dnaforsuccess.com. Go to the top drop-down, examination, and then free 30-minute strategy session. Click on that. It will literally take you 3 minutes to complete that, and then someone from Legacy Partners and Mastermind Seminars will call you and give you your 30-minute strategy session. Again, there's no cost. It's a gift from every one of us to you. Go into that 30-minute strategy session expecting that your business and life will be changed forever, because it has so for so many people. Again, go to www.dnaforsuccess.com, go to the top drop-down examination, and then free 30-minute strategy session. Once you complete that, there are so many different possible solutions to assist you in overcoming the biggest challenge you're currently facing, and how to help you develop your very own BOS, the engine which runs your business. There are weekly live mastermind calls, coffee connections you can attend at no cost. There are online courses, group coaching, media solutions, and even one-on-one coaching which can be provided to you depending on your specific needs and overall goals. Please do not leave today without committing to meeting with at least 2 other people, either over coffee or over the phone, at a minimum once a week, to follow through on all the amazing information, ideas, tools, systems, and great people, both locally and then around the world, through Mastermind Seminars and Legacy Partners. One side note, because there is no charge to attend, participate, and gain massive benefit from Mastermind Seminars, individuals often wonder, how do these amazing events are funded? Well, they are actually funded by generous individuals just like you who give financially weekly through Coffee Connection contributions or monthly through Mastermind Seminars. Your generous contribution to Life Masteries Institute, which is an IRS-approved 501c3 nonprofit organization, not only enables the events, tools, and networks to be developed and given to you and others, but also a portion of your gift goes to many great causes. When we give generously in a financial way, we gain financially as well. No gift is too small. Even giving $5 a week or even a month will make a big difference. To give, go to www.mastermind-seminars.org/pay-it-forward. That's www.mastermind-seminars.org/pay-it-forward. Here is what others have found. In just getting started with my company, I didn't feel I could give anything. Even $5 a month was a sacrifice. I decided to do that, and as soon as I started to give financially, I became more focused on turning what I was learning into financial gain for me personally, and it worked. I'm now contributing a little more and will continue to increase my giving as my business and income grows. Adam, a new entrepreneur. We have given over $45,000 because we know it's the right thing to do. Yes, we do give of our personal and company resources, time and talents, but we also know how important it is to give financially as well. We have found that when we give financially, we become more focused on turning our involvement into sales and financial success. It seems that those who do not give financially, they often do not gain financial benefit. The entire Mastermind seminar experience has done more for building a successful culture through our entire company than hundreds of thousands of dollars in consultants, seminars, and workshops. We've accomplished more in a couple of years than the 20-plus years prior. Any individual, any company, any organization which does buy in and get their entire company involved is, how do I best say it, missing out on a chance of a lifetime. Alan Stein and Nancy Virts, owners, www.tanglewoodconservatories.com. I give financially weekly, and my business has more than doubled. Ginger Ann Collins, owner EVA, executive virtual assistant, and executive coach. www.dnaforsuccess.com/implementation/E-VAS. The more I give financially, the more I receive financially. Ann Wayman, dream giver, ghostwriter, www.annwayman.com. I was looking for additional income streams, and by giving financially, it's opened so many doors for me. So many opportunities become available when we are financially generous. Ed Noel, mortgage professional, owner, leadership, and team building coach. It was really tough for us to give anything, as we had invested so much into our business. But we decided to start out with $25 a month. We didn't think of it as a very big gift, but the truth is, it was a lot for us when we started. And the doors that financial gift has opened for us are huge. We will be giving a portion of what we generate in our business back to Life Masteries Institute and pay it forward to help others around the world gain financial freedom. Steve and Avalinda Casey, owner, real estate investing, speaker, and author. Being a part of Mastermind seminars over the last 3 years has changed the way I think about every area of life. When we give financially, we not only support what is given to us, but we assist others in our community and around the world. Be generous. Kevin King, helping people save money on health insurance. My business has benefited so much from the Mastermind seminars and coffee connections. It's the right thing to give back weekly financially. Jonathan Sparrow, owner, web technology, www.themvpnetwork.org. If you have any questions, thoughts, or ideas from today, please connect with the individual who invited you to attend or your MC, host, or you can even call toll-free 888-230-2300. That's 888-230-2300, or the U.S. base number is 630-393-9909. That's 630-393-9909. Always remember, we can accomplish far more together than we ever could on our own. So think of 3 other individuals you believe would benefit from what we shared and invite them to your Mastermind conference call, coffee connection, and next month's Mastermind seminar event. Have an amazing day and life.